didn't bring scissors. I'm so bad. Hey, I discovered something new on the luminaire that I didn't know was there.
What's that?
Well, I know in the last update that we did that they told us there was some more patterns that were coming in. But I didn't realize there's 2 edge-to-edge patterns built into the luminaire that use the big hoop.
Oh.
Did you know that?
I did not know they
I
had
want to show people where they are because I went, holy tamale!
I did not know that they had
This is
edge-to-edges
one of them.
built
I
in.
don't know if you can catch this on I was so excited because they're beautiful. Go into embroidery. I don't know if this will show up. I tried to do it in blue. I was trying to get it where, however, it was going to be able to be seen. I didn't know if up there was. Can you see it? No. We'll see it better on the machine. It's beautiful. It's beautifully done. It's stitched out like butter. I mean, gorgeous. Do you see that? Isn't that pretty? And guess what else? There's borders to match it. There's corners to match it. And it's built in. Go to embroidery, Brent. I'm going to show you guys where to find it.
Is this one on, or are we getting those?
Yeah. I found so many things. I don't spend enough time going through my little pictures. Right. And I was amazed to find 2 edge-to-edges in our machines. And one of them is super cute. If we do that class on a place for everything.
There we go. Is that
it's
coming
a
up
sewing motif one.
Is there nothing coming up over there? Oh, there we go.
Okay, so let's go into embroidery mode, Brent, because we're going to go there eventually anyway. I wanted to show you how I quilted this up for today's thing. I mean, I'm just amazed at how beautiful it was.
Okay, so embroidery.
And big. Look how big it is.
You're
going to be quilting those quilts in no time with that big hoop.
All
Okay,
right.
so now go into number 1, which is built-in machine designs. Yep. And scroll over on the top. Scroll over till you get all the way to the lemons. Because the lemons were new.
The lemons are new.
They are new. But now, go down. Not that the lemons are pretty and the strawberries are pretty, but look at, oh, you went by some of them. There's actually a hexagon, a whole tablecloth in there. They give you all the hexes. They give you the hexagon. Look at those. See the last 2, Brent?
Yep.
Those are edge to edge. Bring them up so we can see them.
Okay. How's the focus on that, Eddie? Do I need to adjust it, or are we good?
There it is. Look at that. That's the one I just showed you. That's filling your big frame.
Yeah, because that's, that is.
Isn't that something?
Wow, yeah.
And I didn't even know it was there. And then the next one beside it, which I think is really cute if we do those bags, a place for everything. Look at that. It's a sewing motif.
Yeah.
Is that showing up okay? Those are built into our machine.
Nice, see? So more reason to get yourself a new luminaire if you don't have one.
And look at how big it is. You'd be doing a...
Oh, yeah, I'm just looking at the size over here. It's 15 by 14 3/4 by 10.
Also, if you scroll up, you'll see the hexagon and the hexagon tabletopper ones. And then there's actually feathered ones for you. See, that's for hexagon.
Yep.
Isn't that something?
Oh, and then there's the...
Those are all built in.
the
That's
borders,
the borders for the hexagon. They're all built into your machine.
Because I was just going to ask, why are the hexagons so small at 9 by 8? But then I'm realizing it fit right in between there.
Yep. And I think if you go up just a little bit more, you're going to see the borders, the feathers for the borders.
Yep.
I can put my glasses on.
So you've got
there they are.
Yeah.
Look, guys. Look at those beautiful feathers. Well, that wasn't the beautiful feather. But
okay,
that's half a block, though.
There's some feathers there.
See, look at those feathers for a border.
Nice.
And there's a corner. There's corner feathers, too. If you're doing a corner. Look at that.
Nice.
In our machine. I feel bad I didn't know, but anyway.
Yeah,
I used it to quilt this.
You don't make me feel like I should be playing with stuff more so I can find all this stuff.
This is going to be a placemat when I'm done.
Nice.
Yes, it came with the Luminaire 2 upgrade.
Well, not the upgrade, no, the update.
When the update,
yes, that's just something that's in there.
When we updated our machines.
I'm not sure. I might be there without the upgrade. I don't know, because it came through as an update.
It's an update.
The difference between an update and an upgrade is the upgrades you pay for, the updates come free from Brother. You just have to, on these, if you're hooked to the internet, it just downloads them and you go.
Yeah.
In fact.
It was updated it to 3.51, And I
But-
think I need to go up to 3.6.
Yeah, because it's actually.
Because there's a
yeah,
new
there's
one out there because of the
But
scan and cut.
yeah, but we're not gonna do that right now.
No, we're not. We're not. But that's to show
Yeah.
people how to update their
Yeah.
machines. But anyway, so I thought that was sort of a sideshow. But here's my other new goodie. This thread. Where am I? I don't know.
Anywhere
In
but
a
here.
bar.
Anywhere but
In
here.
a bar. This thread, and there's more than one kind of fusible thread. This one I got happened to be from Superior, but I know
I think Wonderful makes. one.
Wonderful makes one as well.
Yeah.
And so does Gouda.
Everybody probably makes it.
No, there's only a few out there.
Okay.
But this is fusible thread. Now they claim you can use it in your bobbin and in the top. And I tried it. Bobbin works beautifully. In the top, it's almost like a dental floss. See that? I don't know if you can. It's like a dental floss. So if you're going to use it in the top of your machine, you got to put like a 14 needle in there. And Becky doesn't use 14 needles in
I don't know
sewing
why.
jeans.
14s are the greatest needle ever
I
made.
know you like them, but I don't. So I did not like it in the top, but I'll tell you what I tried it for, is when it was time to do a placement stitch on an applique, I said, hey, maybe I'll use my fusible thread. Because you know how I like to take my glue out. I said, then I won't have to take my glue out.
No, is it heat set fusible?
You watch, we're going to do it.
Okay.
We're going to do it. We are going to put it in our
Is there
bobbin.
is there any warnings on it? Because I know that Superior's water soluble thread says you can't use it for swimwear for some reason. You think I'm joking? It says
put
it on the
this-
package, and I'm
Put
thinking
this in your bobbin there, Pumpy. Now, I brought you black thread, but we can use white so everybody can see it easier. You all know when I did my month-long binding videos, I was a proponent of gluing my binding.
Now you're
This
gonna
is
say
now my new favorite.
you're gonna
This
like
is a game changer.
fusible your.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I'm curious now.
Where do you? Not out for everything, but when it comes to binding, yeah. And I'll tell you some other uses for it too, but this just blows my mind. Now, I didn't get fancy with my binding, okay? But Brent, what I want you to do.
You didn't get fancy with your binding. That looks pretty fancy to me.
I'm gonna do it the way, I don't know, does Brenda like to start from the back or the front?
I can't remember. She's back and rolls it to the
And she
front.
goes to the front?
Yeah.
That's not how I do it. I do the front and I roll to the back.
I do the same thing.
All right, I'm sorry, Brenda. I love you, but, okay, Brent.
But I'm not saying it's wrong because her binding's coming fantastic.
Yeah, well, I know everyone.
Yeah.
Yep. What you're gonna do, you got a 1/4 inch foot on there,
There's
right?
Yep.
And you've got the fusible thread just in the bobbin, not in the top. Where do you, I'm gonna show you some stuff with this. Blow your mind.
Yeah, hurry up. Let's
Okay,
do it. I wanna
you are we're not gonna get too fancy, but Brent, I did make you some lines for when you go to do your mitered corners, right? But
Yep.
I'm not gonna boss you too much about the mitered corners, because I can rip this
Am
out
I-
real easy. I'm
am
gonna
I-
show you how easy it
Am
is
I
to take
miter? Am I
out.
going all the way around, like miter corners and everything?
Yeah,
Okay.
give us a little overlap, yeah.
You go with the circus stuff.
Well, yeah, and he's not doing binding the way I do it. He's doing the most often done binding, the double fold. But notice I did not press a fold.
Yeah.
That's something you and Brenda taught me. Do not press your folds when you do your binding.
Yeah. That's something.
Just fold it in half.
Yes, because if you press it, the fold is not in the right spot
It's
because
not
it's right
exactly
in.
the right spot,
because
you
it's
get
right in the
thickness
middle.
of the quilt.
Yeah.
When you go to take it around the corner, you now have that thickness in the quilt that's not accommodated by the crease you just put in, because you press it straight in half, and it's not really at the halfway point. It's like 1/8 of an inch over the halfway point. So by not pressing it in half, you'll find it much easier to turn to the other side. This is a test to remember our video on binding. I never do because I do it differently than this, but
Do what?
it's mighty corner. He's got it.
Do you know how many bindings I put on?
He's got it. He's got it. This isn't how to miter a corner. It's we're going to show you the magic of how easy this makes putting the binding on. Whether you're going to machine stitch it or hand stitch it, this technique is super awesome.
Back before, I was famous, I did a lot of sewing, and for some reason I always ended up putting bindings on. And it used to drive Mom nuts because my miters weren't up to Mom standards, so they wouldn't get the perfect 45.
Yeah, well, we're not going to judge you on that tonight because I'm just... Well, I'm going to show you how easy it is to take this out if there's a mistake. You don't even need a seam ripper. Got you thinking that, don't I?
I do. I'm confused because it's
I know! Where do you see this? It was so cool!
I'm almost done.
He's on
I'm
the
on-
third side.
I'm on the side.
I
Yeah.
know, but I want to know the thing.
Anticipation.
If you want to know the answer, buy the book.
There isn't a book.
I know. So you're never going to get the answers.
Another place, I'll chat while you're finishing this up. Another place where I found this an interesting use is, let's say you're machine appliquing. You're not embroidering. You're doing it on a regular sewing machine. You've got your little piece and you cut it out. And now, in the olden days, we stick it on. I don't like double-sided adhesives with applique. I don't like it because it makes your fabric stiffer and the applique doesn't puff up with the rest of the quilt. It looks glued down. It drives me crazy. I want it to be puffy. So I don't want a fusible all the way through it. If you take your pattern before you cut it out, this is the easiest time to do it. Use this fusible stuff in your bobbin, stitch around your applique, then use that to, I don't care, use black, red, something you can see, then cut your applique out, and then I'm going to show you how you can fuse it without pins, and it only fuses around the little edges, and the black thread just comes off. You a doubter.
No, I'm trying to figure out what you think that.
Oh, I should have brought an applique. Want to get me a scrap?
No, I want to know. Okay, explain it again. So I would put it in my box.
This, yeah, I did not like this in the top.
Okay.
I didn't like it in the top. If you want to use a size 14 needle, go for it. I didn't
So
like it.
whatever is touching it is going to be fused to it. It's not going to go away. It's going to be fused.
Whatever's touching these.
So how would you? So you have to.
Can they hear? Can y'all hear poor Danny over here? Or is
She's
anybody?
confused. Why would you applique?
Yeah.
Why would you sew your applique then?
You're sewing.
I'm sewing to get the
You're showing the
fusible.
shape, and then you're going to sew.
I'm sewing the shape to get the fusible just on
the edges.
the edges of the shape.
So you would do it twice.
No, you-
Yeah, after I use it instead of pins to put it down. Now I'm ironing it on.
All
and
right.
it's
Did you want me to?
sticking.
I'm not connecting this, right?
Well, we don't have to.
I mean, I
would-
could, but I don't have
would,
my
but
easy
I can-
angle and all the other stuff. And
Well, no, I just made you an easy, but it does right. Okay, watch this. Oh, do I have my ironing board in here? Yes. This is where the magic begins. Now pretend he went all the way around and we have it connected here, okay?
yeah, I mean,
Yeah, this is really bad.
We'll pretend. Now, when I
you
prep,
go up a little so they can see you.
oh man, I'm terrible at that.
Yeah.
Okay, so now what I'm doing, I'm on the back side, right? And I'm
Yeah.
taking this and I'm folding it over,
Yeah.
right? And then I'm taking my iron.
You're just going to iron it on. And because I have the fusible and it's going to stick to it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, keep in mind if you do this with polyester batting,
Who uses polyester batting?
I'm just saying,
You gotta iron it. You
I
gotta
ha- I-
iron it anyway. Look at that, guy.
that's one of those lessons I learned the hard way. Don't iron a quilt with polyester batting in it.
Now, what I really love about this is even all the way up to my corners, I have glue. Just because you used a fusible thread. I am literally gluing my binding. It's perfect. Look at Brent.
That's actually a very,
Brent, come on.
I'm impressed. I like it.
I like it too because some people will get to that point and use glue or.
That's what I used to do.
Or that sticky.
Or the sticky.
Like you
And you
just
can
used.
sew right through this with a needle and thread if you still want to hand do it.
Yep.
And it will stay on here for a good length of time. It's not like my glue technique. It's a
Yeah.
little fragile,
Yeah.
you know? This is not fragile. It really works. I'm going to show you something
Now,
else. in
now
a
you're
minute,
using the
though.
Superior brand.
I am.
Is there? Have you tried the other brands to see if there's a difference in its durability?
I have not.
Okay.
This is the only one I
So
can
if you're
get.
watching this out there and either the
Would you
comment,
like to get
comment
some
in the video
You
below.
want to get some Wonder with the Wonder Fill?
Oh yeah, I'll get some in.
Because I would have
But-
used it, but I didn't want you to bring
I
it
was trying to
in
get
until I
people to-
knew I liked
I was trying to get people to comment on our video by saying comment below if you've had experience with other types of.
Oh.
Usable.
That's what
Hey,
they do
don't
on
forget
YouTube.
to hit thumbs up, people.
That's what they do
Now,
on the
here's
ones I
what
watch.
I like
anyway.
really, now, we know Brent did the corner, so we're not gonna look at the front too bad, okay? But look how easy it is for me to go all the way up.
And
Look
there's
at
a
how
question. There's
easy-
steam's not required for this, correct?
No.
It's a heat set fuse.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you have problems, I don't use steam for anything. If I thought I was gonna have problems, I would just take my Mister bottle. But you can see, and I'm not using a big iron, otherwise it would be faster. But I'm basically pulling it, look at this corner. Look at that corner with no effort.
Got a big iron on it.
So what you're saying right now is if Brent had messed up on the sewing, he could just pull that one black thread out.
I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna pretend we did, and we have to get rid of it, okay?
What
But
did I mess up?
Look at the corners, how the glue, because the glue is all the way up in there.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
how
the
are
same
you
thing.
keeping the miter down?
It's
Because
got
it's
glue.
got the.
There's glue inside where he sewed on the glue.
Okay, but
So the only place it's not
it's
gonna have
overlapping.
Yeah.
just on the miter part, but right up to it on both sides is gonna be
There's glue.
tacked down really good.
If I were really careful, I would have mitered this better. I would have mitered it like that there.
But you can blame it on how it was attached.
So there, look at,
That looks really good.
Wow.
oops, whoops.
You changed everything for Brent.
Isn't that
Well,
something?
doesn't it make it look like my sewing is fantastic?
It does.
Isn't that
Yeah.
something?
I'm pretty
And it's
sure-
there.
Wait, go back to here.
Well, it's not my miter, but it's pretty good.
Oh, come on.
This one's better.
It's
I
pretty good for a fat guy in a quilt shop.
think. And the back looks good. The back looks good. Look at the back.
It does. I agree. I like it.
And it's there, and there's no pins, there's no clips, and
Free the pen.
if I
I
had,
was just gonna say, there's
if
a
I
lot
had
of things that look
gone,
better from the back.
if I had gone all the way around, you know,
That's what
we
she
would
said.
have literally just been gluing, and then you would be either hand sewing it or putting it back on and doing whatever you do. Now, Deanna, you had a question about, okay, now you want to take it off.
Yeah, I made boo-boo. I put the wrong binding on, I gotta redo it.
That's not gonna gum up your iron.
Not this iron.
Are you melting it now? It's gonna pull off.
So if you just do it extra long in the mouth,
No, it's not extra long.
Well, because the idea behind Fusible is melting two things together, but now there's nothing for it to melt to.
wow, okay, I'm sold.
Nice.
I'm sold.
Feel it, no sticky, no nothing.
That's interesting.
Look at my iron.
Well, make sure you have that kind of iron, Teflon.
Look at my beautiful iron. If you didn't have this kind of iron, you could have put a Teflon sheet over it.
Yeah.
But you literally saw the glue melt away.
Yeah.
And then the thread has nothing attached
So
to
it
it,
just pulls
so
it
it
off.
just pulls away. So that begs the question, I've got stripes to match.
Why would you want to match stripes?
What?
Where's your top
It's in the machine.
No, I mean, from that, isn't this?
Oh,
I
it's still
took
on
it out.
there.
Oh, I took it out. I just have to cut it. It's right here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's right here. See?
It disappeared because it's magic.
That's all that's left though. So you can see how, like, if you're doing an applique and this show, you just pull it off after. Because once the glue melts, this isn't attached to anything. I think it's magical. Okay, but now let's say
I would say yes. You probably could get away without additional stitching. I don't know the
I
longev-
would not
I don't
do
know
that.
the
I
longevity
would not
would
do
be.
that. I would, even on a wall hanging, John. John's question was, hey, if it's in there, why do I have to go any further? There's actually people online that have said that's it. They leave it. But I'm thinking
I'd be one of those, but.
yeah, you probably would be.
wall hanging,
I have not. John, try it. Let us know.
Well, I'm thinking on a wall hanging, if it's going to get
I-
laundered, I would worry about it.
I am going to stitch mine down.
The
But
worst case scenario, you just have to go back and fix it later.
I just think it's fabulous. But now, here's another thing that I was doing Nebula, and there's a lot of matching in Nebula, as there is in a lot of other places. Funky points, or and need a good design where you get to match all those satin seams up together. And I'll just take my glue gun out, well, not my glue gun, but my little glue, and I match it up that way, right? Watch this. Oh, I think with my scissors. Wait, I gotta cut it. That'll work. Tell me this isn't cool. You might want to change your bobbin, because you're not going to want fusible and bobbin to show how this works. This is a piece of the fusible thread. It literally looks like dental floss.
It does. Does it taste like dental floss?
I'm not going to eat it.
I took the other story, so my kids
So now I'm trying to line these stripes up absolutely perfect. Now, you all know that even if you pin them, it doesn't always work, because when it feeds through the machine, things happen. When you're trying to line up a specific point in a triangle or something, right?
Mhm.
You think you got it, goes through the machine, and you don't have it. So what I've been doing is basting first, going, oh, I like it, then sewing it permanently. Well, I could baste it with my fusible thread, like it, then sew my seam. When you iron the fusible, it goes away. But then, because I'm a glue lady, I say, what if I put my fusible thread down there and I use it to line up my stripes? Right like this.
And you don't even need to sew it, you're just going to...
No, I'm going to sew it.
No, I'm saying you don't need to baste it first. You can just glue it and then go.
That's a pretty good trick. I like
I like that trick.
I like that.
Sew that seam and see how good we did.
Well, the seam itself probably isn't that good.
I'm sure it is. I'm convinced it is.
Are you convinced it is?
I am.
If we say it, it'll be so.
Now, he doesn't have fusible in the bobbin, guys, okay, so I can press it. You don't want to, let's see, oh my God, Glenn. You know when I needed this? When I was putting a zipper in a pillow.
Oh, yeah.
It was a striped fabric, and I diddled and I diddled. Look at that, Brent. This is done by Brent. Where are we, Eddie?
Get out. No way. No. I mean, we
Where
can
am
go.
I? Where am I? Brent did this. Look at that, peeps.
Good job,
Brent did this.
Brent
I
did
love how we
this.
have the bar set so low.
No, but
If
come
Brent
on, did
can
you
do it,
see-
anybody can
Did
do
you
it.
see how easy it took me to line it up, though?
Oh yeah, no. That's pretty impressive actually, because I
I'm
know
like, done.
lining stuff up is a pain, but doing that with just putting
And
that
this one
thread
you're
down.
trying
Yep.
to put a zipper in, too.
Yep.
Guess what? You can put your zipper in, you can baste it with this thread.
So you can actually line it up and put a pin in it.
It moves.
Yeah.
It does. Look.
That came out beautiful.
Nice.
Thank you. So
Is that all we got for
my
tonight?
dog and pony is add fusible thread to your,
Your repertoire. Repertoire.
and I am going to be using it for all my binding from now on. It's just so
So
easy.
that means I got to order fusible thread now.
You
On a
do,
side
because
note,
it is
we
so
have the-
easy. And it
The little
lasts.
wool thingies that you were talking about a couple weeks ago.
Oh, did you get them in?
We have some of those in, yes.
Oh, I could have used that to press this open.
Oh. Anyway,
But I
the
can't.
hour is nigh.
There.
That we must come
Okay.
to an end.
Okay. Oh, I did pretty
Wow, look at
good.
my- look at
Not
my
too
head.
far. Yeah, I was going to tell you it was sticking up, and then I said,
Yeah,
nah, let's let it just stick
I
up.
like that. I combed it this morning, but then I got helmet
Let's
head.
just let it stick up.
Hey, you know, I got a reputation to uphold.
Rooster do.
Anyway, thank you for joining us for another episode of Shenanigans with Brent and Becky. Remember, sew on and be excellent to each other.
Dum, dum, dum.